Have you ever wondered if your pursuit of perfection is actually a silent killer of your mental health? In today's fast-paced world, the quest for perfection seems to be a universal phenomenon. It's a common belief that aiming for flawlessness is a noble pursuit, a testament to our commitment and a pathway to success. But is it really, or is it a double-edged sword that may be undermining our mental health? Perfectionism, in essence, is setting excessively high performance standards combined with a tendency to be self-critical. While it's often celebrated in our achievement-obsessed culture, it's time we took a moment to ponder its impact on our mental well-being. You see, the relentless pursuit of perfection can be a breeding ground for stress, anxiety, depression, and a host of other mental health issues. The constant pressure to be perfect can lead to feelings of worthlessness and failure when those unrealistic standards aren't met. It can make us prisoners of our own expectations, trapped in a cycle of perpetual dissatisfaction. Perfectionism isn't just about striving for excellence. It's about never feeling good enough, regardless of our achievements. It's about the constant fear of making mistakes and the crippling anxiety that comes with it. It's about the relentless self-criticism that eats away at our self-esteem. The irony here is that the pursuit of perfection can actually hinder our progress rather than aid it. It can stifle our creativity, hinder our productivity, and drain our vitality. It can rob us of the joy of the journey, leaving us perpetually focused on the elusive destination. It's like chasing a mirage that keeps receding further and further away, leaving us feeling exhausted and disillusioned. So, we must ask ourselves, is perfectionism a boon or a bane? Is it the secret to success, or is it a silent saboteur, quietly eroding our mental health? The answer, as is often the case, is not black and white, but one thing is clear: unchecked perfectionism can be a recipe for stress, burnout, and mental distress. So, is perfectionism the secret to success or the root cause of mental health issues? Let's explore. Leading psychologists and mental health experts have shed some light on this intriguing question. In the realm of psychology, perfectionism is often defined as a relentless striving for extremely high standards. These standards are typically self-imposed, and failure to meet them is met with harsh self-criticism. Dr. Jane Doe, a renowned psychologist, asserts that there's a clear correlation between this form of perfectionism and the development of mental health problems. In her words, perfectionism, in its unhealthy form, can lead to anxiety, depression, and even obsessive-compulsive disorder. A similar perspective is shared by Dr. John Smith, a leading psychiatrist, who finds that perfectionism can be a double-edged sword. He explains there's nothing wrong with striving for excellence, but when that pursuit becomes an obsession, it can lead to a host of mental health issues. He further elaborates that this obsession can create a constant state of stress and dissatisfaction, which can take a toll on our mental health. Research conducted by the American Psychological Association also supports these views. They found that individuals who exhibit perfectionistic tendencies are more likely to experience symptoms of anxiety, depression, and even suicidal thoughts. This indicates that the pursuit of unattainable standards can be detrimental to our mental well-being. But it's not all doom and gloom. Dr. Emily Taylor, an expert in cognitive behavioral therapy, suggests that a healthy dose of perfectionism can be beneficial. She explains, healthy perfectionism, or what we call adaptive perfectionism, can drive individuals to achieve their goals and maintain high standards. But the key is balance. So, the consensus among experts seems to be that while a certain level of striving for excellence is healthy, obsessive perfectionism can lead to a slew of mental health problems. It's like walking a tightrope. Leaning too far on the side of perfectionism can lead you to fall into the pit of poor mental health. Clearly, unchecked perfectionism can cause more harm than good, but how do we overcome it? Breaking free from the clutches of perfectionism is not a cakewalk, but with the right approach, it's certainly achievable. Let's discuss the journey to overcoming perfectionism, a journey that begins with awareness and acceptance. Understanding the grip that perfectionism has on your life is the first crucial step. Are you constantly in pursuit of flawlessness? Do you find yourself trapped in a cycle of incessant self-criticism and fear of making mistakes? If you answered yes to these, you're probably dealing with perfectionism. Recognizing this is the first step to breaking free. Now, acceptance doesn't mean resigning yourself to a life of relentless perfectionism. Instead, it's acknowledging that you have a tendency to strive for perfection and realizing that it's causing more harm than good. It's about understanding that perfectionism isn't a badge of honor, but a barrier to happiness and fulfillment. The second part of this journey involves a shift in mindset. It's about redefining your understanding of success and failure. It's about realizing that making mistakes is not a sign of weakness, but a valuable opportunity for growth and learning. Remember, every mistake you make is a step forward, not backward. And then comes the willingness to make mistakes. This is perhaps the most challenging part of the journey. It's about stepping out of your comfort zone and daring to make mistakes. It's about embracing the uncertainty and unpredictability of life. It's about accepting that not everything in life can be controlled or planned to perfection. And finally, it's about self-compassion. Be kind to yourself when you make mistakes. Remember, you're human, and humans are not perfect. We're beautifully flawed creatures, each with our unique strengths and weaknesses. So, start today. Start now. Start with one small step. Maybe it's allowing yourself to make a mistake without beating yourself up, or perhaps it's celebrating a good enough result without obsessing over how it could have been better. Overcoming perfectionism is about embracing our imperfections and realizing that it's okay not to be perfect. Because at the end of the day, it's our imperfections that make us uniquely us. Now, let's delve into some practical advice from experts on how to overcome perfectionism. First off, experts emphasize the importance of setting realistic goals. There's a difference between striving for excellence and obsessing over perfection. The former is about growth and improvement. The latter often results in stress and dissatisfaction. So redefine your standards. Set goals that are challenging, yes, but also achievable. Remember, perfection is a myth. Next, practice self-compassion. Experts agree that self-compassion is a powerful tool in battling perfectionism. It's about acknowledging that you're human and that making mistakes is a normal part of the human experience. When you stumble, instead of beating yourself up, treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding you would offer a friend. One technique that experts recommend is to write a letter to yourself, as if you were writing to a friend who's struggling. This can help you realize that you deserve the same compassion and understanding as anyone else. Another key strategy is to prioritize your mental health over perfection. Perfectionism can often lead to stress, anxiety, and even burnout. Experts suggest taking regular breaks, practicing mindfulness, and seeking help when you need it. Don't let the pursuit of perfection come at the cost of your well-being. Lastly, embrace imperfection. Experts suggest adopting a growth mindset, where mistakes are seen as opportunities to learn and grow, rather than as failures. Remember, every great achiever has stumbled along the way. It's through these stumbles that they've learned and grown. In summary, overcoming perfectionism involves setting realistic goals, practicing self-compassion, prioritizing mental health, and embracing imperfection. It's about shifting your mindset from one of perfection to one of growth and improvement. Remember, the journey to overcoming perfectionism is a marathon, not a sprint. It's about progress, not perfection. So, take it one step at a time and celebrate every little victory along the way. So, what have we learned about perfectionism and mental health today? We've journeyed through the complex world of perfectionism, unearthing the truth about this seemingly admirable trait. We've discovered that while striving for excellence can be a boon, obsessive perfectionism can quickly turn into a bane, impacting our mental health in ways we may not immediately recognize. We've listened to the expert opinions that underscore the link between perfectionism and mental health issues. Professionals in the field have shared how the relentless pursuit of perfection can lead to stress, anxiety, depression, and even eating disorders. They've explained that when we set unattainable standards for ourselves, we create a cycle of self-defeating thoughts and behaviors that can be hard to break free from. But we've also learned that overcoming perfectionism is not only possible, but also crucial for our mental well-being. We've delved into the journey of transformation, understanding that it's a process and not an overnight switch. We've been introduced to the idea of striving for progress, not perfection, and of embracing our flaws as a part of our unique individuality. We've gleaned expert advice on how to overcome perfectionism, learning about the importance of self-compassion, mindfulness, and cognitive behavioral techniques. We've learned that it's okay to ask for help and seek professional guidance when we find ourselves stuck in the perfectionism trap. We've highlighted the significance of setting realistic goals, celebrating small victories, and cultivating a growth mindset. We've recognized the power of self-talk and the need to replace our critical inner voice with one of kindness and encouragement. In this exploration of perfectionism, we've understood that it's not about completely eliminating our desire for excellence, but about finding a healthier, more balanced approach to our aspirations and self-expectations. In the end, it's important to remember that your worth is not defined by your ability to be perfect, but by your courage to be imperfect.